Oh, there we are. I'm too exhausted for a playful intro, but I still got a hankering for a podcastin'. Fresh episode of the Savage Sack Tap starts now.
You're listening to the Savage Sack Tap. It's not a podcast, it's not a half-cast, it's just a quick shot to the balls to help you finish off the week. We're cutting through the bullshit, filling your Friday with rage-fueled logic, and cracking a few jokes along the way. So grab a bag of frozen peas. There's a Savage Sack Tap coming your way.
Smooth, lascivious, salacious, outrageous.
What is up, Mike Montone? Savage Sack Tap. Let me get this out of here. There we go. Oh, whoops, did I X out the... Nope, we're good. I thought I X'd out the wrong one. I'm a fucking disheveled mess. I am on like a whole new sleep schedule this week, as opposed to the previous 8 years worth of weeks, or whatever the fuck. I've been getting up at 2 a.m. for my new job, so it's I'm adjusting, alright, you motherfuckers. No, but, yes, I do, I have a new job. I will refrain from mentioning it on this platform, because, you know, corporate, etc., but, it is, super early. It's, it's a great, I love the new commute. I'm not gonna lie. The 9 to 5 corporate slog commute fucking blows. I am all about riding the bus into the city at 3 o'clock in the morning. I take a 3:45 a.m. bus into Port Authority, and I get out, and it's there's nobody out there. There's like, the only people who are out in Times Square or like Midtown at that time of night are like just these the most ratchet ass hood rats, and they're all like stumbling around drunk and arguing with each other. A handful of European tourists, and then people like coming back, like people going home from clubs, getting to McDonald's or whatever, and like, you know, cops and construction workers. So there's not a lot of people. It's like the emptiest you'll see New York City, which is really cool. But it's the lights are wild, because the Times Square lights are just blasting on like an empty Times Square, except for the aforementioned hood rats, construction workers, and etc. And it's a really cool time to be in Midtown. On the way out at like noon, when I'm getting off of work, it is a fucking nightmare, because it's like just packed to the brim with tourists from like fucking Hans and front. Yeah, we come to see the Big Apple. Yeah, we're glad to be here. We're taking holiday. You Americans go on very short vacations. We go on holiday for several months. Yeah, I don't fucking know. I'm tired. I'm doing terrible impersonations. But no, yeah, it's a fucking, you can't move anywhere. You can't fucking walk. You can't walk anywhere. Sorry, I got distracted. My mom's texting me. They just clog. They have the rolly backpack suitcases and the big stupid backpacks, and they walk slowly, and they stop every 5 feet. It's a fucking nightmare in the afternoon. But I love that morning commute. I like it. I like being out when no one else is around. I find it blissful to be out and about while the rest of the world is asleep. I don't have to deal with anyone, and that's always good for me. My last day, I can tell you now that the place I used to work was 1010 Winds, the radio station in New York City, and that is where from whence came all of those fantastic defecation stories that I had told on the show in the past. I took my final shit in the bathroom upstairs by WCBS FM 101.1, because they always play the best music up there, and I guess Green Day kind of counts as oldies now. So they had Green Day was on as I was taking my final shit, and that song Tyler, it's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. Yeah, that one. That was playing as like I squeezed out my final work dump, and I stood up to tighten my belt. And as I was doing that, as I was kind of wiping and cleaning up the mess, some guy sits in the stall next to me and just starts blasting ass over the final chords of Time of Your Life. So it was a very poetic and I think fitting way to end my time at 1010 Wins. My coworkers threw me a delightful little happy hour, so I got to spend my final day in the news industry with a pretty brutal headache. Which is working in the news industry is a fucking headache. It's just there's so much silliness, and it's all evidenced by the fact that every news outlet. John Downley, thank you for checking in. Holy shit, your prom song is now being played on an oldies station. How's that make you feel? I hope you fingered your date good. The news industry is like all of the stupid shit that you see, like when you're on Twitter and people are like, dude, the fucking media is retarded, the media is stupid. I got to see it firsthand every day for 8 years. And I want to first, the people there, fantastic. A lot of really good people, but it's just driven by this absurd shit. Like digital media now is driven by page views and clicks. So you have to have shit that people want to click on, even if it's not actually news or even interesting. You just need every dumbass you see on the train or the bus, they're fucking hammering away at their smartphone or whatever, and they're looking up like stupid fucking memes and gifs and shit. You have to cater to those fucking dumbasses. And what happens is you wind up running stories like Pole Rat. I don't know if you guys remember, last week it was trending. There was a rat, and it was climbing up a pole on the subway. And for some reason, a video of it went viral. I don't fucking know why this happens. Every time a rat does something on the subway and someone captures it on camera, it goes viral. People enjoy watching rat videos. Personally, I'm fucking disgusted by rats. And also, they're not doing anything remarkable. A rat pulling a slice of pizza is not remarkable. That's what rats do. They eat fucking food that's been left on the ground. That's actually the least remarkable thing a rat has ever done, is eaten pizza or a burrito or scurried up a pole on the subway. Literally, all you are doing when you capture those things and make them go viral is you're just spreading a picture. It's just rats in their environment. Like, there's nothing extraordinary. If the rat was doing someone's taxes, or fucking putting a man on the moon, or anything even remotely, if a rat pitched a no-hitter in the World Series, I would be blown away. But a rat eating a slice of pizza on the subway steps, or fucking climbing up a pole on the filthy ass fucking subway, is just not. No one should be covering this. News and outlets should not be covering. You wonder why it's so easy for people to attack your credibility, and then you're telling me that we need to have fucking pizza, fucking pole rat on the homepage of a fucking news website. It's just amazing. What else? Oh, speaking of the subway, firecrackers. I love it. So on my last day at work, we had a story. And what we do is we send out those alerts you get on your phone, the text messages that when there's breaking news, and we started seeing activity surrounding firecrackers going off on the subway, and my boss wanted this, but top priority, tend to this right now, because who knows what could happen, because there was a stampede. First of all, what the fuck is wrong? When did New Yorkers become such fucking pussies that firecrackers cause a stampede on the subway? Like, it's a fucking fire. If anyone should be able to identify each and every loud noise, it should be a New Yorker. You hear a loud fucking boom crash, what's that? Nah, don't worry, it's just a garbage truck. Whatever. Bang, bang, oh, what is that? Gunshots. We were in the South Bronx, so it happens. This is, oh, what's that? A cab crashed into a fruit stand. You hear firecrackers, you should be like, oh, we're on the subway, someone set off fucking firecrackers. You know why? Because there are a lot of jackasses down on the fucking subway, and they do things like that. People do weird shit on the subway. It is literally filled with people doing bizarre shit. There are kids walking around. They think that if they dance in front of you, you have to give them $1. Like, where else does that happen? That you're just subject, that you're standing somewhere and you're subject to a forcible dance quintet, and you have to fucking pay them because they announced that it was showtime. Like, what bullshit traveling show is this? But the point is, weird things happen on the subway. People masturbate in plain sight of other people on the subway. Every day, like, frequently. In fact, so frequently that the New York Post has been covering it, that the city is trying to figure out how to solve the problem of subway masturbators. Way worse than what turned out to be a bunch of teenagers setting off firecrackers. Fucking, you know what? In the old New York City, in the New York City of the 1970s, 80s, and early 90s, before Giuliani ruined the fun by kicking all the porn shops out, that firecrackers on the subway, the kids laying the firecrackers would have been shot. That's it. New Yorkers have just become such fucking pussies. That's why Hillary Clinton made her headquarters here, and fucking Lena Dunham makes her home here. It's completely turned on its head. Bill the Butcher would be disgusted if he saw what was going on in the Bowery now. But to the point, what the fuck was... Oh, yeah. Well, the point I'm making is that firecrackers, not a huge deal on the New York City subway. Very, very low, but again, people masturbating to completion on the subway. I would so much rather get fragged by a little bit of fucking, exploding cardboard from a firecracker than have some homeless guy come on me, alright? A burn heals with some Neosporin. Hepatitis does not, alright? That's what I wanted to... that was the point that I wanted to make there. And I should also tell you, this will probably be a relatively short episode too, because I am super fucking exhausted, and I'm meal prepping right now. I have some delicious teriyaki chicken baking in the oven, and I have to pack for the shore, and I have another day of work tomorrow. Thank God Daredevil. Yeah, seriously. Thank God Putin can't see this happening. I swear to fucking God, we're gonna get overrun. We are going to get butt fucked from both ends by China and Russia. It is just we are gonna get steamrolled one day. And you know what? Russian chicks are hot. Chinese food is delicious. I'm ready. Come on down. Oh yeah. Speaking of massive international conflict, it is today, as I do this, is the 75-year anniversary of the landing at Normandy, which is just one of the, you hate to give the army credit for an amphibious assault, but just fucking wow, those ballsy motherfuckers. Really, talk about a decisive action that saved the world from a fucking monster. God damn it. If you have a World War II relative in your family that's still around, make sure you talk to them and spend time with them, because that is literally a dying breed. Like, we're running out of those guys, and they are fucking special. And even just anyone who was around back then, talk to them about the old shit, because you're not going to get to hear any of these old-timey stories and the history of your country, and especially if you live near where your family's from, your grandparents are from, they know the history of like where you grew up and shit. That's just, and talk to them about everything. Because they're not going to be around much longer, and they have a wealth of knowledge to pass on. So a lot of you see a lot on social media people talking about the landing in D-Day and the bravery of the guys that did it. And Ben Shapiro must have said something along the lines of like, what a ballsy generation. We don't have that anymore with these fucking kids. And on Twitter, and I actually just finished watching his show. He actually does elaborate on the statement, and he says, people who are in the military have bigger fucking balls than he does. He's like, hey, I'm nothing compared to them. Of course, people on Twitter probably didn't see this, and they were getting mad at him. One of the Barstool writers, and we'll actually be talking about Barstool in a moment, said he looked like he needed to be swirled, which actually is kind of funny. Ben Shapiro does look like he needs to get a fucking... it looks like he's been on the receiving end of a number of them. But people generally got butthurt by it because they were taking it as an attack on millennial veterans, which I don't think is true at all. I think that's a disingenuous view of it because Ben Shapiro is, he's gone on and on about the fucking U.S. military and the Israeli military. It's just, if you know his body of work, it's not the fucking thing. I think he was clearly talking about the 99.5% of millennials who didn't fight in the two-theater war that we just went through. But people got fucking bent out of shape. I really thought we were getting past the angry veteran shit on social media. There was like a 3 year chunk there. I want to say during Obama's last term when I feel like every young person who fought in Iraq or Afghanistan had gotten out just didn't know what to do with their life, so they were on the internet getting mad about things. It seems to have calmed down a little bit. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just not running in the right internet circles anymore. But it seems to have gotten like a hold of itself. In any case, hey man, we fought in Iraq and Afghanistan. All right, man. All right, we're good, man. Okay. I went to Iraq too. All right, 7 fucking months in Ramadi. I'm good. I got family members that went there. I got friends, a shitload of friends that went. We don't need to get mad about fucking taking things out of context and getting mad and doing the fucking snowflake thing. One of the things about your service is that it's one, voluntary, and two, there's supposed to be a sense of humility attached to it. So we're not supposed to be boastful and loud about it. And if someone wants to voice an opinion, we don't need to go nuts and act like petulant children, especially without taking the shit in context. But certainly, in any case, it's just unbecoming. We're supposed to have, bearing and just kind of remain upright and stoic and not show that we are bothered by the words of, an internet video guy, right? I think it makes us come off a lot better if we do things that way. And I think it's quite clear, though, that what Ben Shapiro said was directed right at the 98.5% again of young Americans who have to take like adulting classes so they can figure out how to pay their fucking electric bill. Like those guys, those fucking idiots. You know exactly which ones he was talking about. So yeah, that's that. It's just stupid excuses to go after because Ben Shapiro comes off as kind of a wiener, so people they love to go after him because he irritates people. I guess is the thing. I like him. I happen to like Ben Shapiro. Real quick before I get into the news stories that I have here, Facebook.com/Savage Crew. That's where you're watching this right now. Twitter at Mike Montone. Please give me a follow. Instagram at Gary_Moyler, Moyler. And, of course, the show is always available for download at thesavagecrew.libsyn.com. So please check that out. I got a few stories here. How we doing on time? 20 minutes in. Okay. What's up first? I'm going to do this one about Barstool, actually. It says, Bruins rally towels for Game 2 include a Barstool Sports logo. Some fans are not happy about that. Okay, so Barstool, obviously born right outside of Boston. I think Swampscott, is that? Yeah, Swampscott. so Dave Portnoy, big Boston sports fans. They're always doing shit for Boston sports. So I guess they made these game day towels for the Bruins in were they in the Stanley Cup Finals? I haven't been following because I've been adjusting to the new. Yeah, they were in the finals. I've been adjusting to the new work schedule, so I haven't been following the hockey that closely. But the Bruins tweeted it out. It says keys to game 2: cycle the puck, pucks in deep, pucks on net. Thanks to Barstool Sports and Stool Presidente for tonight's rally towels. Which, that's it. That's fine. A fucking the tweet immediately led to backlash from some Bruins fans, as well as several columns on publications from USA Today's For the Win. Oh, I have to check that out in a sec. I did not plan on that. But look at these tweets from these wieners complaining about this. So do women get towels, or do they have to be harassed by Barstool Sports first? Asking for all Bruins fans with a conscience. Hashtag disappointment. Oh, disappointed. Shut the fuck up. I mean, how ridiculous is this? Barstool has a female CEO and I think COO, if I'm not mistaken. They've launched the careers of a shitload of women. They have 2 all-female podcast. All of their other shows have women on them. It's absurd. The whole misogyny Barstool thing it's just such a it's fake news. Matt Wallace, look at this white knight. Big Bruins fan, disgusted that you'd partner with these people. Shut up, Matt, you fucking cuck. I want to look at this jackass's profile. The fuck is this? Stupid. Oh, well, here's one thing that he retweeted. It says, a cool thing about the last few years is that the U.S. became the leading exporter of intellectual machinery of Western fascism, and one of the leading domestic debates about it is whether undergrads are treating the people behind it politely enough. Oh, so he's saying that, like, you know how people call Ben Shapiro, a Jewish man, people call him a Nazi. He's saying that we're the leading exporter of shit like that. Oh, that's adorable. So he's just a fucking, he regurgitates whatever the social justice angle is. This other asshole. The Bruins are supporting and spreading the message of an openly misogynist organization. Again, see my previous point. This is embarrassing. You're fucking embarrassing. I'd be embarrassed to be a man and be upset that a sports team was partnered with a sports website, which, by the way, is incredibly popular among hockey fans and hockey players. So miss me with that shit. Oh, okay. Alright. This is a, wow, this is a deep dive. I don't know if we have time for this. This would be an entire fucking, like, send-up of Barstool here. The point is, the attacks on Barstool are always such bullshit. They're like contrived, regurgitated criticisms that just aren't true. They have a sense of humor that makes fun of everybody. That is true. They are crude and at times crass. Also true. But they're also fucking hilarious in doing it. So they get to do that. That's their art. That's what they do. They're provocateurs. They're funny. They're jokesters. They goof on people. Okay. When they attack you, they attack you with jokes and poking fun at things about you. So it's not that they're misogynist, they hate women. It's just that sometimes they make fun of some women, and we live in a society now where you can't do that unless the woman works for the Trump White House. That's like it. Like did that or the NRA or whoever, Fox News, whoever I'm talking to. You can make fun. You can go after the right women, but you can't go. But apparently Barstool Sports doesn't do that, so that makes them misogynist. It's just absolutely preposterous. The misogynist with a female CEO. Again, absurd. Fucking absurd. Here we go. Next one. Are the NFL and Cowboys making the right decision by not punishing Ezekiel Elliott for his Vegas incident? This is from the Dallas News, Dallas Morning News, or just the Dallas News. Yeah, I agree with the guy here. He says, the average person who had a run-in like the one Zeke had in Vegas wouldn't be punished by their employer, right? Does anyone know? If you don't know what happened, Zeke was at the Electric Daisy Carnival. He's probably a little bit drunk. It's a big party. It's a big carnival. People go to have fun, revelry, and sometimes at these things, things can get a little bit physical. Zeke didn't actually do anything horrible. He just kind of bumped a security guard, and the security guard did this absurd soccer flop, and it was the most ridiculous thing ever. But because Zeke has a history of, discipline issues, as they call them, none of which, it's weird, none of which have ever involved him getting convicted, or I think even arrested. I think he was suspended for 6 games for a domestic violence they had fucking evidence that said the chick was going to go after him to ruin his life. So I don't think this whole Zeke Elliott is a bad guy thing is so weird. Now, of course, if he turns around and he's like a fucking OJ, and we find him with a bloody glove, a kitchen knife, and a messy pair of Bruno Mollies, then okay, you were right. But for now, he just seems like a guy who maybe gets, drunk once in a while and bumps into shit, and dated a psycho who tried to ruin his life, and it has marked him forever, which is bullshit and unfair. He's a very, very hard-working football player, and it's ridiculous, I think, that we hold these guys to these absurd fucking there are straight up criminals in the league, and Zeke gets into a little bit of like a goofy situation when he's wasted, and they go after it. It's so fucking ridiculous. And by the way, they're playing a fucking death sport for our entertainment. So you know what? I can handle them. I can handle them fucking around a little bit when they're not, they need to blow off some steam. Maybe they get in a bit of trouble. Fine. You know what? Something happens, then let them get fucking sued if they hurt someone. All right? Or go to jail or whatever. I don't know why the fucking everything needs to be a suspension from the league. Why do we crave that? Why do we want the guy off the field? Unless you're a Giants fan, then I get it, because he's busting yo ass up. Anyway. This one's kind of a light one that we will wrap up on. Florida teacher writes, "What WTF is this on students' homework?" WTF, for those who don't know, stands for what the fuck. The student's mother didn't know what it meant. The teacher, I guess, the teacher said this kid would be getting no credit for the assignment, and the kid's mother wants him punished. This was in Florida. I don't know, if the kid handed in dog shit homework, then let him get a what the fuck. You're not allowed to. These kids are. That's like there's just nothing anymore. That's it. There's no parenting, no teaching, no child development goes on at all. Maybe the appropriate response to the fucking garbage that this kid handed in was what the fuck. Sometimes that is just how it goes. Sometimes you do such a shit job at something that the only appropriate way to respond is what the fuck. Yeah. I don't know why we have to we're coddling children and protecting them from the bad language. The kids are walking around with tablets. They're viewing hardcore pornography all day. They're sending each other pictures of their genitals. They can handle a couple naughty words, all right? They're on YouTube watching Slender Man videos and getting ready to fucking cut their friends' throats at sleepovers. I'm sure WTF on a homework assignment probably not going to do too much irreparable harm. But yeah, this, ugh. You know what's funny? I never, as a child, would have had the balls to show my parents an assignment that I wasn't going to be getting credit on. And that's the difference between my generation and the current generation. My generation, and we were like the last ones to live this. If you showed your parents that homework assignment, and even if it said WTF, their reaction wouldn't be, why did the teacher write WTF? The reaction would be, why the fuck is your work so shitty that you're not getting any credit on this assignment? You're wasting your fucking time. You're going to wind up homeless and sucking cock in an alleyway to feed yourself and put a roof over your head. Like, that's what they would have said. They wouldn't have called the teacher and said, how dare you use what the fuck? Just get the fuck out of here. Oh my god. Ew, what a fucking... Society is just... I'm just disgusted and done with it. And we'll wrap on that. There is no hope whatsoever for the future. It was a quick one today. Only like 33 minutes or so. Sorry, folks. I know you wanted more of me. Might actually be even less. Probably around a half hour. What are you going to do? Anyway, social media. Facebook.com/SavageCrew. That's where you're watching this. Twitter @Mike Montone. Instagram @Gary_Moyler. Moyler. And you can find the podcast at thesavagecrew.libsyn.com.